Okay, we are recording. So this is the problem child. There's water coming out the side here. What has happened, this is supposed to pull off by the way, is that there's a little hole in the side of the molding. But that's not the only problem. So up underneath here, I'm getting water dripping down. And I think it's coming from the connection up here where, a little hard to see. There it is. Where the bottom of the faucet attachment is, that seemed to be leaking. Now I put some caulk around the base. I actually pulled this open and have a look at it. Put the caulk around the base and put it back down so I wouldn't get water leaking down from here because it was dribbling here. I don't think it's shutting off completely either because over time the basin fills up. But basically it's leaking in at least 2 if not 3 different ways. So time for replacement. And this is the replacement, $109 off of Amazon, and it's the exact same thing. Comes with a fresh nut, same connectors on the end, made by the same company, and it doesn't have the joint problem here where the water is leaking out the side when you use it. So this should be a fairly straightforward swap by spinning the nut off on the bottom, removing the disconnecting the water connections, removing the old one, putting the new one in, and reversing, putting the valve back in. First thing I got to do though is turn off my water pump and drain the pressure. Oh, that was easy. And from the hot too, so that I don't get quite so much water dribbling down once I open up the faucet. All right. And it is such a tight I've caught my nut in place. There it goes. Okay. Get the nut spun all the way down here. There we go. Nuts off. And then alright, so now we get the part on the inside done. Okay, so now I'll loosen this, and it was finger tightable. And we get no water running around, so that's good. And I could do the one off of the filter up here as well. The cold side goes through the 3M filter. Alright, that might take some tool. Okay, here's where I need an adjustable wrench. I thought I'm going to have to move the camera just to get in there and get it. Okay, I finally got the blue side loose as well. Took two tools, one on the plastic thread nut and the other on the metal from the blue hose. Okay, and then of course the next step is relatively easy. One fitting at a time through the hole. And then the new one's going to go in the same way, but it will remove the plastic that was holding the parts, holding the new nut. Get that in all the way. And so the next one through. Oh, I've skipped a step. In with the nut is a new sealing ring to go underneath the faucet. So I put that right where it goes there, and that should prevent any need of a caulk to seal that down. Of course, when all else fails, use caulk. Alright, so that's in position more or less. We take the new nut that's not corroded, and it looks like both sides have more or less the same fitting, so I don't think it matters which way's up. And there's where the fitting is, and then put the nut over, bring it up, and tighten. Threaded. There it goes. And around she goes. Okay, so now we're going to reach underneath and we're going to tighten this down. Add some friction. All right, I think that's about where it wants to go. Good, and that can actually be rotated to point either direction, and it has these nice threads. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that there's actually pipe threads on that, in case you want to hook up a hose to it instead. I just wonder if the fitting from the shower, let's see if that matches. puppy. Look at that. Goes right on there. So if you've got something that you need to hook up to water, you can do it through this threaded connection, and just know that it's the same fitting as the shower flexible uses. So this unthreads too. So this same fitting fits on there. That's cool. Alright, put that back. So both the kitchen faucet and the sink faucet in the bathroom have the same threading mechanism. This just pushes over. It doesn't have threads on it, but it just pushes over and then seals against that rubber ring in the very back. So it skips the threads and goes all the way back. Alright, next thing you do is hook up the water again. But it's basically hooking up the same stuff to the same place it was before underneath, so I'm going to just pause the camera and we'll come back with it working. Okay, so we've got the fittings underneath connected. So now I'm going to turn on my water pump. And I'm going to hear spraying water all the way underneath. Turn off the water pump. Alright, let's go fix that. Okay, so I've taken the filter connection off the wall so I can see the problem I'm having between this fitting and there. This should come together, and then this should thread over it and hold it together, and in theory seal, but it almost seems like the nut is so big it's not getting a good compression on there. It was super tight when I tried to get it off. I had lots of trouble. When I thread this all the way up, that's still loose, and this isn't connected. So I think what I'm going to have to do is get, and I didn't see one when I took it apart, but I think I'm going to have to get a little bit of gasket to sit on there. The old one, if I bring the old one back here and just fit it. Oopsie. Try that again. Test fit the old one. Yeah, it's a different diameter. It's press fitting onto there. Different. So these are two different sizes, and thus the problem. And so I'll need to run to the hardware store and get an O-ring of just the right dimensions to seal that up, so that it offsets it so that the nut can compress it with the ring and get that tight. Okay. Okay, so after a trip to Home Depot, got a pack of O-rings and found one that fits perfectly over that. And now we're going to try to connect this up again with the O-ring this time. Hopefully it only takes the one. Yeah, that feels a lot better. You tighten it down with the wrench. Yeah, it actually feels like it's tight now. Alright, let me put this all back together and then we'll turn the water, see what happens. Okay, water pump coming on. And I don't see any leaking. Don't hear any leaking. I got water. Yay. I think that will do it for this repair. Keep you updated on how that ended up working out. And just for reference, this is the O-ring assortment kit that I got. There we go. From Home Depot. It's got a number of 80788 on it. And I used kind of a medium-sized one. I have no idea which one it actually was, but they list the numbers on here. I guess I could count through them and figure it out. But